Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the W.A.K cast. It has been
We
such a
did it.
long time, but we just could
Think of
not stay away. We're addicted to this whole thing. And naturally, as has happened many a times on this show, we missed a lot, like we always do. But we decided to not really go hard on any of that stuff because you know what came out this month? Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh
Bro,
yeah,
that was the
Oh,
best movie
it was.
round
ever.
of
I loved it.
applause for everybody involved. I mean, I know it's cliche to say, but might have been the best Spider-Man movie ever made. I
No,
don't
it was
know.
legitimately a work of
Yeah.
art, man. Like watching it in theaters too, which I know we all did,
Yeah.
was just such a
Twice.
great experience. And anyone who hasn't seen Spider-Verse, well, Across the Spider-Verse, go watch it right now and
Yeah.
probably skip ahead like 7 minutes or something, because we're
Yeah.
gonna probably spoil it
It's a
really
spoiler
bad.
city
Oh
down here
yeah,
today.
true, true.
I'm not allowed to curse anymore.
Yeah,
I mean, hey, we own this place, man.
We're
This is
about to
our
spoil the
domain.
fuck out of it.
So yeah, it's wow, for the movie to be as long as it was, did not feel like it was long enough. The Spot, who was like a joke in the trailer, was nightmare fuel in this movie. So that was a
Yeah,
fantastic
yeah.
surprise.
Never in my
I know
life.
nothing about the Spot.
no, I've never heard of him before
Never,
then.
literally, I didn't know anything about him either. I had to look him up. And like his first appearance was like in an old ass comic. And like he's kind of jokey, but like
I
never
saw
in my
some clips
life
of
have I
that. Yeah,
seen such a character just become so utterly terrifying.
and
So
they set it
quick.
up so well. I'm sure anyone watching this saw the trailer for Spider-Verse at least, and saw that they were setting up Miguel as like the villain. They gave him the
Yeah.
villain edit in the trailer. We were like, oh, word, Miguel versus Miles, the movie. Not at all. They turned Spot from a joke character into pure chaos.
It's just so scary. And like my favorite villain in Spider-Man's the Green Goblin. And
Yeah.
you know, I never really consider anyone scarier than the Green Goblin because, like, imagine meeting him in an alleyway. But the way they did Spot Man, it's like that's when you just start crying. Like there is no hope. It's
He's
so scary.
he's
Yeah.
become to a level where like it's and obviously it's not just one universe that's in trouble here, and that's like the scariest thing, dude. Like the
No, yeah,
homeboy has the
everyone's in
power to
trouble.
destroy the
Well, no,
multiverse.
Miles is in trouble, is really what it is. Like Miles is fucked because that's
Uh,
who he's going for. He doesn't care about the other universes. They're pawns in his game, and
so
now
hey everyone, just wanted to give a quick spoiler warning. If you haven't seen Across the Spider-Verse, now is probably your time to skip ahead into the video because we're about to get into some heavy spoilers. So be prepared.
he's coming on
I've
strong.
gotta I've gotta bring up, there was toward the end of the movie, something big happens. We all know what happens. It's actually revealed that the spider from Earth 42 we know is the one that bit Miles, but what happened to the Miles on Earth 42? And he turns out to be that universe's Prowler. Now, I didn't
Boom. Huge
realize
spoiler right there.
while
Yeah,
Make
big
sure we
spoilers
watching,
coming in hot.
put a
yeah,
spoiler warning
we're gonna have a
in this
nice
video
spoiler
right before
alert.
this part.
Yeah. But one of the things that I didn't notice in the theater because of the hype of everything going on, and now that people have like posted the final 5 minutes, I've seen it in the very final shot. The way Miles looks at him, like Spider-Man, the way he looks at other Miles and his hand lights up with electricity, it's the biggest feeling of like, this is going to be such an insane fight that is
No,
probably going to
and
take so
yo, I
long to
also
get
noticed something
through.
too. So do you remember in the very first movie, right? When Peter B. Parker was captured by Miles and he tied him
Yeah,
to the
it's the
punching
same
bag?
It's
It is
technique.
the
yep,
exact same
same
thing.
technique.
And it was make him look at one hand and come in with the other,
Uh,
misdirection.
he
So like
said,
that's
And
yeah, it's gonna be
definitely about to happen.
watch
Like
the hands, bro.
there's
it's
He said it
actually
legit.
like this.
something pretty cool going around the internet right now that they I haven't seen the actual like interview, but apparently the directors have said that for Beyond the Spider-Verse, they really want to focus on the variants of Gwen that exist, because we've seen a lot of like we have evil Miles already, but like what are the other Gwens like? And I think that's cool because there is a high chance that we could get Gwenom, which
Ooh.
I feel like helps bridge that gap between, you know, the
But
two universes.
some of her alternate forms I feel like don't even correspond really with like the Spider-Verse, because there's like Gwenpool.
Like that would be sick. That would be awesome.
So I don't know. I want to
didn't
see.
consider
I want to
that.
see Miles beat Miles' ass. Like that's what I want to see.
Yeah.
Oh, we're definitely
That's
gonna
what
see
I'm
that.
And
getting
we're
ready.
definitely gonna get that like background, a deep background dive for Miguel too, to kind of explain why he is the way he is.
No, yeah.
Right. Well, then we're also gonna have to. They're gonna explain what's going on, right? Because I'm a believer that like that Miguel's theory is wrong. You know, the whole canon event
Yeah.
theory is wrong.
Yeah. Well,
And
if
I'm excited to see like
Bro, I
that
mean, there's just so much
realization.
I've thought about. Like, first of all, I mean,
Miguel is an anomaly, if you think about it.
kind of, and like the fact that like Spot came from Miles's universe and like they pulled Universe 42.
Right. And Universe
Everything that
42
Miles
is
does
now
is still, it's
an
like
anomaly.
universally canon.
Yeah.
Because his universe is actively influencing other universes right now,
Right.
and those influences are still causing canon effects in other universes. So like their
Right.
universe is like an ultimal canon, you know.
Yeah. And then there's always the big looming dark question. Do we think they are actually going to kill Jefferson Davis?
I don't
No,
know. I mean,
I think
I can see it going either way right
I
now.
think
I
it's
think
I
there's a
think it's
big
likely.
there's a big point that Miles is changing his narrative. He's changing the narrative of all Spider-Man, and I don't think he's gonna have a canon event. I feel like Spider-Man or all the Spider-Man are gonna save everyone. It's gonna be the first time they do it.
I
They
mean,
save everyone.
yeah, it's entirely possible. I just always think like there were sections of this movie where it got a little dark, and I'm wondering if Beyond the Spider-Verse is going to be even darker. And I mean,
Oh yeah.
just the name Beyond the Spider-Verse insinuates that like something bigger is at play here. Shameik Moore, who's the
Right.
actor, has literally said he's begun dieting to lose weight to be the first candidate to play Miles. And it's like that,
Oh yeah,
that's
they're coming to
spooky.
the
Like,
our world.
yeah.
Like, I don't think they're gonna do a full live action movie though. Not
Mm.
for Beyond.
Coincidentally, Sony has already, well, the directors have already said that they had live action scenes filmed for this movie that ended up being cut as well. And one of them involved Toby. So that, I
Right, I feel like I
mean,
saw something about that, and like even the directors got to the point where like this is just too much.
yeah, they did.
It's like
Like
it's not
they,
even good anymore. They're like it was for like a joke, and
Mm.
then but when we saw it, we were like,
Yeah.
yeah,
like beating a dead
they
horse.
already, like at the end of their big interview, they said after Beyond the Spider-Verse, we're all taking a massive vacation. They said we are so extremely tired. And I was like, yeah, I could
Well,
only
yeah, I mean, they've
imagine,
been
dude.
creating both of these movies for what, like 4 years now, 5 years or
Yeah.
something. It's been a while.
They had to hire a 14-year-old. It's like, hey, you the bomb at some Lego shit, man. Just do this
For
for us,
real.
dog. Like I'm
Shouts out.
tired.
Shouts
To
out,
that kid.
dude.
Yeah.
And that's something I do want to talk about too, is like the art of this movie was phenomenal.
And
Like,
Yeah,
somehow they
so
topped
good.
the first movie. Like the
yeah,
first
I mean
movie itself
the
was
first
already
one
a
had like that
masterpiece.
kind of like stop motion-y animation to it, but like everyone was like the same. And then in this one, it was like they put in those little tiny nuances into the individual universes to where they're like completely different animation styles, which
Yeah.
is crazy when you think
Mhm.
about it. The amount
It
of
was,
effort that goes
yeah.
From
like
the
the
And
jump,
Lego
too, they're
animation.
doing it.
Gwen's universe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
I think
everyone universally agrees that
the
we
way
wish we lived in Gwen's universe.
yeah, the way they decided to do it was it gave every single world we saw its own uniqueness. And like, I love that. Like when we went to Paviter's world, that the whole entire city looked so cool, so vibrant, so alive.
Yeah.
Like Gwen's world changed colors with the emotions they were displaying, which was insane. Like,
Yo,
it's just
shouts out
nuts.
Paviter, shouts out Hobie.
Bro, and then
Literally the
Hobie
two best
Brown,
The
characters, the
Hobart
two,
two
Brown,
best.
my two favorite
Spider-Punk.
Spider-Man
I've
now.
loved Spider-Punk for years.
I know. I
And no
when
one
I
knows
saw
who
that, I
he
was like,
is.
Justin's gonna be so happy with this interpretation of
Bro.
Spider-Punk, bro. Like this is
It
Spider-Punk.
is. And like my thing is like I never like heard Spider-Punk, you know, like I'd read the comics, I'd make his own voice in my head.
Yeah.
But like now that I've seen him do it, it's like, oh, that's
That's
what he
it.
sounds like.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was such a good choice too, because it's the first time this character's really had any type of spotlight at all. And the fact that they focus so hard on the detail. They were like, well, this is Spider-Punk, so we want him to be rough Cockney. We want him to have piercings. We want his look to look like the classic 90s neon punk posters of in London. And it
Yeah.
was like all of this shit was just it just elevates that character. It's so cool. It's such a
So good.
good character. First appearance, he busts onto the screen with the guitar, and I was like,
Right, dude. And as soon as I
oh
saw like I don't even know how to describe it. It's like he's sticker bombed there,
yeah.
you know?
It was
It's
he
like
like tagged it.
newspaper and magazine
Yeah.
clippings like stitched together. It was great. I
God.
love that animation of him. It was great.
But honestly, the best costume, I won't take any arguments. Paviter had the best glow up from comic to movie. That
Yeah.
suit
Well,
is
yeah, okay. I'll give you
fire,
that one.
dude.
From comic to movie,
Yeah.
That suit
100%.
is fire with the little
His suit is
swoop
great.
and shit.
Yeah.
Like,
He's got
oh
his
my
like little flippy
God.
hair out.
It was beautiful. I'm so glad they didn't go with the OG Indian Spider-Man because it
Yeah.
would have looked
I low
whack.
key hope that they put some of the costumes we saw in this movie in the game.
If they don't, I'm
Missed
boycotting,
opportunity.
bruh. I'm boycotting
Because
Well,
Spider-Man.
Justin did it. He transitioned us because
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
all we're
yeah, yeah.
spiting out about. Go see Spider-Verse. Go see Across the Spider-Verse.
Nah,
Get
go see it
excited for
again.
Beyond.
Go see
Also
it
get
again.
excited because Sony dropped an exclusive first look gameplay trailer a few weeks ago now at the showcase, but of Spider-Man 2. And we got to see the glorious combat in action. Little
Yeah,
hints of the
as
gameplay.
you are seeing right now, my friends, this is live
all
gameplay of
right, we can do that.
Spider-Man 2.
Nah, it
And
looks
wow,
sick,
look
man.
at this
Playing as
hype.
Venom, like it's gonna be lit. Well, Black Spider-Man.
Whoa.
Black Spider-Man.
Yeah,
And of course, Miles.
the symbiote,
It's
man.
gonna
It
be
finally we all knew it was gonna happen, but seeing it on screen, it's so good. It
no,
looks like a living creature on
and
his
it kind
body.
of looks like too,
Thing.
like just like with the little bit of mechanics we've gotten to see already, like I feel like they've given you so much more freedom. Freedom that I didn't even realize I didn't have in the first game, like how you can like make like web crossings and stuff at specific angles and
Yeah.
stuff. It's not just like forwards and backwards and sideways. Like that's not it, you know?
Yeah.
And I like that there's like that much freedom and stuff. But what I'm really most excited for is how in depth they're gonna do the air trick system in this game.
Oh my God.
Because the first one
Spider-Man's so brutal.
was good, and then the Spider-Man Miles Morales,
He
the
been
air trick
flipping.
system blew out. It was way more crazier.
I
So
feel like we're gonna have two separate systems. Like I
Well,
do
now
still
you've
think
got
Miles is gonna have a lot more freestyle flow, where Peter will probably be the normal Spider-Man movement, unless he's picked up some tricks from Miles.
we
right.
have
No.
web wings, man. We can straight
True,
fly through New
and
York
Oh
now.
yeah,
Just
the web gliders. That's right. I hope that's gonna open up a whole new ball game for tricks, man.
yeah.
They would do barrel rolls and stuff.
We know we've got a bigger map now
Barrel
because
roll.
Peter says at the end of the first one that he's moving into Aunt May's house, and now we branch out to Aunt May's neighborhood. We have the main map and we have the Harlem map now all grouped together, which is
massive.
Yeah, extremely massive. Like they are not playing around. They like Insomniac. We all were like, man, they're killing it. Like their games are so good. And then they were like, bitch, we barely scratched the surface.
Right.
Now it's time to go crazy.
they just got so much because they're also working on the Wolverine game and stuff. And like
the suits.
They just got so much going.
Yeah. So we also got
suits
at the pre-order bonus suits and the deluxe edition.
One of them
straight up a Power Ranger skin.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. One of them is literally a like tribute to the original Super Sentai Power Rangers in Japan, and it literally is just Miles in like the Green Ranger suit, and it's so sick. Yeah. I know a lot of people
super hentai at first.
Sentai. Yeah, I know a lot of people are hating on it because I do see a lot of comments saying like the suits are so outlandish in this one that it almost doesn't feel like you're playing as Spider-Man in a lot of
I get that too, because like you
want to see like
the familiar stuff
too.
It's
like my brother, just don't put on the suit then.
It's like, yeah, those are also pre-order suits. Like
those are
you go ahead and you email
extra
them
suits
and say,
anyways,
hey, when I buy this game, don't you dare give me those suits. I don't want them.
Yeah, all you have to do,
just don't get them then.
Don't get the deluxe edition.
Don't pre-order.
Yeah, don't pre-order it.
You don't got to look at them, my mans. The rest of us, we gonna eat good.
Because you're gonna look at me and tell me that they added the Arachnite in the Spider-Man 2. Get the hell out of town. That's so cool.
I do want to see some. See, that's something I'm a little worried about. Is I kind of hope that they just bring back all the suits from the first game to the second one, so that I still have them. Some like there's some.
I don't know. Yeah,
staples in those suits, man. Like I definitely want to see Spider-Punk come back because, like, especially now.
I mean, true.
Yeah, we're 100% gonna get some of the Spider-Verse characters.
But like things like the Scarlet Spider, they did the two most popular versions of Scarlet Spider in the first game. So like I would really like it if those were also in the second game, and I think it would suck if I couldn't have it, you know?
Right.
I think it's unlikely only because they'll try to one up the suits from the first one, as opposed to they'll probably bring some over for sure because there was some iconic suits.
Like
but
they already did my two favorite suits of all time, and it's Big Time Spider-Man and Future Foundation. And
we've still got Superior Spider-Man.
Upset if I don't get either of those in the second game. I want them to do more suits, don't get me wrong. I just also want all the old ones too, just like port them over. Go ahead and bring them on over.
That's an interesting
I can have all the suits. Give us 100 Spider-Man.
Look, you got listen.
They'll do it though.
Insomniac, cool. They caught the flag. They know what we want. So stop being cowards and give us the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit, please. The first one was nice, but the yellow lenses are a throw off. You need to give us the second movie suit. So clean with the big lenses. And oh my God, so clean. That would be so fun to play with. But then, it like, going back to what you said, that also does mean stuff like Future Foundation might not return to this game, or I could like
there's the
Iron
rubber
Spider
suit,
too,
iconic. Iron Spider, iconic. Spider Armors Mark 1 through 5.
Right.
I don't know, man. I could maybe see them adding that
much
later, maybe but the thing is then it's like, do you have to have both games? Like, I don't know.
I think if they do, I definitely see an upgrade in design for the ones they do bring back. So they'll just try to make it look even better.
Them, like,
I could see maybe a couple of them.
Like, I just want them.
But again, that just talks about how good this game is going to be. The only thing you can complain about is maybe not getting suits that we've already got. It's not like they didn't exist.
But it is a different game, man. You telling me you're going to go back and play the first Spider-Man after you get Spider-Man 2?
I'm gonna play it right
No.
before. What do you mean?
No, bro. I'm about to say I'm looking at my PlayStation and like I'm already replaying Miles again. So
I
I'm
did
letting that
replay Miles.
anticipation.
Miles is
I
really
need to
short
buy
though. You
the
can literally beat
upgraded.
it in
This is
like
my
2 days.
second time playing it in the past month. I've like deleted it and then
Yeah,
reinstalled it again.
Tell us in the comments if you saw Spider-Verse and then immediately went home and replayed Miles Morales.
I did that.
If you've got friends on PlayStation that your whole wall was just they're playing
Yeah,
Miles Morales, playing
that's
Miles Morales.
literally how mine's look. Like even the
It is
randoms
great.
I don't really know were all
Yeah,
playing
Yeah, yeah.
Spider-Man.
I was like, everyone playing Miles Morales. Damn right.
Yeah, so let us know in the comments if you
Got
were
to put on the Spider-Verse
Spideying out
costume.
like we are.
Yeah. So now it's time to
We'll
kind
move
of
into-
bring the mood down a little bit. So as
Not
of
really, but we're going to current events.
oh well,
The
yeah.
mood isn't coming down.
Well, I was gonna talk about you know what and just get it out of the way.
Oh, okay. So the mood is in fact
So
coming
the
down.
mood is in fact coming down momentarily, and as of right this second on this podcast, I'm the only one who has seen The Flash. Now,
The Flash is out.
people very much overhyped this movie. Now, it's not to say that it's bad, but seeing celebrities and people post like this is the best comic book movie ever, like this is the best DC movie ever. Look, I get it. Okay,
especially
it's
after
fun.
Across the Spider-Verse.
It's a fun movie. I'm not gonna lie. It's a really fun movie. You can tell that they wanted to almost kind of portray Ezra as like nowhere near a dickhead in this movie. So the fact that they just had so many jokes. It was like not every single joke would land, not every single comedic scene would land, but there were some points where, you know, aside from like me and my brother, there was like a couple other people like, huh, you know, like
Yeah.
it got some
Honestly,
comedy
man,
out
that's
of
a problem
people.
I've just seen with a lot of DC movies is like just flat, like one-liner jokes
Well, I
that
didn't.
most of the time boil down to I'm a funny tough guy.
Well, the C
Yeah.
in DC stands for campy. Did you guys not know that?
Well,
They
the
have
big
to make
issue,
it campy.
I think, looking at it as a whole, is we just went through such a period of darkness where you had like Aquaman, Zack Snyder's Justice League, Batman versus Superman. All these movies were somewhat like rooted in how dark they could be at the end of the film. And now that James is a hold of everything, it's taken a complete 180. So everything plays more like Guardians of the Galaxy
Right.
now. But like the soundtrack is good. The way they utilize the soundtrack works a lot. I will say one of my favorite parts about the movie is the aspect of the dual berries, because you have one that is like the Flash. He does it all the time. And then the other one is just an idiot. Like they grew up in a world where he's not the Flash. So following the Flashpoint story, they recreate a lot of scenes. And I mean, you can see from the trailer that he also gets the Speed Force, but like the way he goes about being the Flash is like he's just this dumbass stoner with superpowers. And I thought that was hilarious. He's got like a hippie laugh and shit that's really funny. But it was just on other Ezra's part, the other Barry, the main Barry, it was just too much of like, I'm super goofy, you know, and it was like, yeah, the Flash is kind of silly, but not to the extreme that you're playing it right now.
Right.
But
I kind of miss like the player Flash from like the Justice
yeah.
League cartoons.
Well, by the end of the movie, I think they really both hone in on being the Flash. I like the character arc that they have throughout the film, but obviously the reason my ass was parked in a theater seat is because Michael Keaton returns. And you would think from the trailer, oh man, Keaton's probably only gonna maybe 15 20 minutes. Nah, Keaton's in like 70% of the movie. He is a
That's awesome.
overarching part of like carrying the plot forward. Like when they have the original idea, where they're like, well, we should go find Superman. It's like, although Keaton doesn't know who he is, he's the fucking Batman. So he's like, I'll find him, like just the way he goes about things is fantastic. I think it was kind of cool because they played his role as both coming out of retirement to play this role and being Batman. Like he has a line where he's like, oh, they just don't need me anymore. Yeah, Gotham City is one of the safest places in the world now. I haven't been Batman for like 30 years. And then it's like, because of the plot of the film, he's forced to come back in the suit.
Yeah.
And it's like what we saw in the original movies where he's like E4 and he's all silly and shit. This Batman knew what he was.
Forgot about that until
this Batman knew what he was. Like the first time you see the action scene, they're like, oh my God, he's Batman. Here he goes. And he literally just looks at the guys and he's like, this is going to hurt. And he just does the sickest fight montage I've ever seen. When they first show him, like, actually in the suit, like, here I go, I'm gonna do stuff. They played the original Tim Burton theme, which really hyped his whole scene up a lot. So he came out of the gate
exactly
swinging.
like that, how you described it. Like he'd be like, okay, here I'm gonna go do stuff. And
that's pretty much how it was. Like he, like every time they were in some shit, he was just like, well, I'm Batman. Like he was just so like,
well, I'm Michael Keaton's Batman.
Yeah, did he whip out the Bat credit card?
No, that's we don't, that's Clooney. We don't talk about Clooney. But like his gadgets in this movie, he goes back to being a gadgeteer. Like you watch him pull out like a rope with a batarang on it and just smash the room full of people with this shit, flinging them all over the room. He's got smoke pellets, batarangs. He was the shit. Affleck was the shit, did a really good job. Kind of sad to see him go after this because I feel like he really did understand it this time, and it's just too little too late. But one of the biggest things I wanted to talk about in this whole discussion is we kind of seen a little bit of it before the movie came out, but Keaton has an entire room of different bat suits, and we see the 1970s bat suit, we see the iconic black and gray, he's got the suit with the white lenses. Like there is so much cool shit in his bat cave, and like that alone, at the child in me who saw that original film at like 6 years old with my dad was like, like I was freaking the fuck out. Such a fantastic job. I liked the movie for Keaton. That's what it boils down to at the end of the day.
You sold me on wanting to see the scenes that Michael Keaton's in.
Yeah, Supergirl.
Fast forward through the rest.
Supergirl.
If you're a Batman fan,
bro,
go watch The Flash. If not,
Supergirl. She did not disappoint whatsoever.
Good.
Another good point of the movie.
I do like Supergirl.
I've already spoiled the very last 5 minutes for Justin because it's not plot relevant. I'm not going to spoil it here on the show, but it literally, I will describe my feelings, but like I enjoyed the movie a lot. I was like, man, this is great. And I knew about the cameo because I had seen it online. And the second it happened, I was filled with unbridled rage. I wanted to assault the people around me and let them feel the pain that I felt in that moment. And DC, don't do this to me.
Oh, what is it? Just tell me, and then we can just redact.
So look, I'm gonna bleep myself
game.
out.
So here's what happened, right?
I'm gonna bleep myself out.
We'll just bleep you out and get my reaction.
Yeah, they're gonna replace Batman with.
There's literally the last 10 seconds of the movie. A car pulls up. It's the same car that Ben was driving earlier at the beginning, and the door opens, and Barry goes, "Oh my God, Bruce!" And literally stops and says out loud, "Who the fuck is this guy?" And they turn the camera, and he is Bruce Wayne. Nope.
When editing this, when I go to the part when I'm like,
nope.
So they're gonna replace Bet. You should just cut it right there.
Yeah.
You're having technical
And then I'll cut my
difficulties.
part. Yeah, my part. But yeah, nothing to do with the plot. Just a silly little ha ha. We're so
Yeah, no, I'm
quirky, and
actually gonna be in charge of cutting this
I
part,
was
and it's
filled
just I'll
filled
just
with
cut it and
rage.
hope it cuts from my memory as well.
But yeah, that was my overall thoughts on the Flash. I mean, if you don't want to see it, I totally get that because Ezra Miller sucks. But if you do
I
want
will
to
not.
see it, just know that Michael Keaton
I'll wait.
carries that movie.
Yeah, I'll wait
So
until I can stream it. Oh yeah, but
yeah,
you need to talk about your favorite part of the movie.
right. It's been a little Easter egg throughout this episode. As you can see, I'm rocking my Freddy Fazbear shirt because, listen, I got into the fandom late. But when I saw that trailer for Five Nights at Freddy's in that theater before The Flash, I got goosebumps. And my brother literally looked at me and said, I'm so excited for this movie. If you would have told me 10 years ago that I would be witnessing what I'm witnessing now, I would not have believed you. And I was
Damn.
like,
No,
bro,
yeah, it looks scary as fuck
they
too.
have
Yeah,
the poster up at the theater. The trailer is just, I got chills. So I know in the theater it's going to be worth the experience. But it has literally been 7.5 years since this movie was announced. And Yuki's even excited about it. She's a big FNAF fan too.
yeah.
7.5 years ago, they announced, hey, we're doing a FNAF movie, and no studio wanted to pick it up. Every studio was like, nah, this sounds
Oh,
dumb.
yeah.
But
Which is wild to me.
Blumhouse, love them or hate them, they picked it up, and it looks like it's actually moving. Matthew Lillard will be the
I mean, they did
tyrannical
Insidious.
William Afton. Yeah, they've had slight success, but they have also been dropping some poopy movies recently. And that's what had the internet being like, I bet you FNAF's going to be a poopy movie too. And I'm like, don't you say that. But like Matthew Lillard as William Afton, anybody who plays the game hears William Afton's name and they're like, don't say that. So like the fact that that's going to be Matthew Lillard, I'm like, yeah,
It
get
is
ready for
awesome.
him to do some dastardly shit in this
If you want
movie.
to sell a
There's no
movie,
way.
that's how. And yeah, so as a person who doesn't like scary movies, I did watch that trailer and I was very surprised that it actually looks scary. Like I was like, okay, FNAF movie, it'll probably be goofy. No, it looks like they went straight horror. They went, yeah, these children fucked up.
No,
Yeah.
They're
yeah. I mean,
locked inside
that's how it's always
with some
been.
fucking murderous animatronics. Like the last shot
Yeah.
of the kid hiding in the ball pit, and you just see all
Yeah.
their glowing eyes looking at it.
That was the one that
They're
got me too. It
I
was
I feel bad for any 6-year-olds who are
like
gonna have this fear
she
for the rest
knows
of
it's
their
gonna
life.
be bad and she's trying to hide. And they're just like,
so the coolest thing about it is like they're taking elements from the game, like the main big elements, and they're building their own story around those elements. So it's somewhat familiar, but
Okay.
like that little girl is not a part of the video games. We
Mhm.
mainly see a lot of Mike, who is going to be Josh Hutcherson.
Yeah.
And apparently, this is his adopted sister who is just obsessed with Freddy's. And in the original poster, which is on screen now, you can debate whether or not this is Freddy or Golden Freddy. And fans from the game know that Golden Freddy's not necessarily as bad as the other ones. So maybe they're trying to save this girl, or they want to stuff her inside of an animatronic and make her like them. Like there's so many questions because there's even the shot in the trailer of what we can assume is Mike being scooped. We see him in the metal chair and they're bringing down an animatronic mask. There's blades
Right.
spinning. So maybe
Yeah.
they're trying to make him an animatronic. But I think my favorite theory on what exactly is happening there is they're trying to put someone into the gold Bonnie suit, which eventually is the very same suit William Afton dies in and becomes Springtrap. So there is a theory that by the end of the movie, us FNAF fans are giddy to see the classic Springlock failure, but I think they may
Then
do it.
who is Freddy already? but
Yeah,
like,
but then
So,
Springtrap is gonna
well,
be
no,
in the audience with you while you watch the
yeah.
movie. And as soon as it
So
ends, he's gonna start murdering motherfuckers.
right.
So
That's why you
that's
always sit by the exit.
this is
yeah.
my favorite thing I've read so far. So in the trailer, we see the shot of Matthew Lillard sitting at the desk looking angry. That's suggesting maybe that's part of a flashback scene before he went on the murder spree and stuffed the 5 children into the animatronics. So the theory is that when our movie starts in our timeline, he's running from the law and he's actually hiding in his own pizzeria, and that will lead him to put on the suit to try to hide in the corner, and the suit will fail and basically mangle him into thousands of pieces, but his soul will now be forever trapped in the
Right, but that will have
Springtrap
to
suit.
happen towards the beginning of the movie. 'Cause
Towards
that's who Josh Hudson, like the character Mike, right?
Well, the thing is, these animatronics don't like William. Obviously, he's the one that killed the souls and stuffed them inside. So whenever they hear his name or they see his face, they become filled with murderous rage.
Okay.
And Josh Hutcherson's character, Mike, in the video games turns out to be the biological son of William Afton. So they may see
Just
Josh
recognize
and
that.
think that's him, and that's why they're trying to stuff him. And like, there's
I
just
do
so
feel like
many
that might be a
theories.
throw off that it's not Josh, it's not Mike that we're seeing in the chair about to get stuff. Like those are flashback scenes of William Afton getting.
It's entirely possible. But the biggest question of all is, will they in FNAF? All of this essentially starts because of the bite of 83. This is when Michael played a prank on his younger brother and tried to make him kiss the Fredbear animatronic, and the shit bit his head off in front of everybody. And he murdered his brother. And that's why William goes on this killing spree. And that boy, his dead brother, is Golden Freddy. So it's like, maybe they'll do that, and like, I don't know, because like I said, they're building their own story with it. But the final point is the animatronics having red eyes. That's a choice. Not too fond of it, because their original eyes in the game are jet black with little white dots in the middle, and they glow in the dark, so that makes it terrifying. But like, I don't know, that if you're a fan of the games, you kind of think that if the red eyes means they're being controlled, that's what the game says. So maybe, I don't know, maybe William is behind all of this somehow, and hopefully by the end of the movie we'll get our gory gush of Springlock, which will be just beautiful to witness. Plausible.
Crazy.
Beautiful.
I like blacked out there for a second because my neighbors upstairs are making the most noise I've ever heard, and I'm too late. So raged.
Justin's becoming Freddy Fazbear.
Well, they must have also
like
watched the
moment of
Nintendo Direct.
Homelander when everyone's taking pictures and he's just like staring. It's like, I'm gonna murder.
That was Ezra Miller in real life on the red carpet.
Yeah, I feel really a lot like Freddy Fazbear right now because I want to go murder children.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
And
whoa!
Demonetized.
Yeah, just immediately says your channel's been banned by YouTube. All right, so yeah, we're gonna move on from FNAF, and I'm gonna let Rhett take over with our current events of this.
Yeah, so what Justin's upstairs neighbors are probably so excited about is the Nintendo Direct that aired earlier today as of recording, and honestly, there were some bangers for the Nintendo fans out there. They're remaking the Mario RPG from back in the day. So if you enjoy RPGs and playing as Mario, they're
the original,
new life.
Mario
they're bringing
Wonder.
new life into it with updated graphics and I assume better gameplay and stuff. I didn't know there was an RPG. It looks fun though. It looks cool. They also dropped.
I mean, technically, Paper Mario is an RPG too, but
that's and it is. Oh yeah, but isn't Paper Mario also like a 2D? Well, it's paper, but was that not side scroller?
I mean, it's paper.
Regardless, they're also bringing the Arkham trilogy to the Switch. So any Batman fans
No, I
who
don't
only have a
understand
Switch,
that. How does it
What?
handle Arkham Knight? What?
What?
the Switch is finally capable, I suppose.
That shit's gonna fly away in your hand while you're playing that shit.
So get excited for that. They dropped a new trailer for Dragon Quest Monsters, a Dragon Quest game where
I knew it.
you get to control the monsters. You get to like breed them, you combine them to create new monsters. You're building a monster army to do what?
Wow.
So it's like
Probably
Monster
take over the
Rancher,
world.
but Dragon
Dragon
Quest
Quest.
monsters. That's cool.
Yeah. So it looked cool. It looked fun.
From the
New
mind of
Dragon
Akira
Quest fan.
Toriyama.
They of course showed more about Pikmin 4, which I've only
Wow.
I've never played a
little
Pikmin.
bit.
I've always been interested, but I've never played a Pikmin.
I remember playing a little as a kid. I tried on an emulator a few years ago, and I don't remember it being as hard as it is. It's like a timed thing. You've got to like keep your Pikmin alive and do a ton of exploring, but they seem like really fun, cute games, and Pikmin 4 adds a ton more to the mechanics of it and brings in a little companion dog. Who doesn't love a little companion dog?
It's true.
That's
Everyone
moving
loves a
on.
companion dog.
I'm sure we all saw from the PlayStation showcase that Metal Gear Solid is getting a master collection. They're
Yeah.
revamping all the old Metal Gear Solid games, and the Master Collection Volume 1 is also going to be coming to Switch, and that was slotted for October, I believe. So potentially for PlayStation as well. We can look forward to that soon, which as someone who's never
Nice.
played the Metal Gear franchise, I'm excited to get to like jump in and have it be like fresh.
Yeah. Maybe.
Detective Pikachu Returns
What?
is the name of a game. It's I didn't know if that means there was a first Detective Pikachu game.
There
But he
was.
is returning now, and Detective Pikachu returns.
He
His
better be
voice
voiced
is-
by Danny DeVito.
Oh my god! If he's not voiced by Danny DeVito, I'm
It
gonna start a
didn't
riot.
sound like Danny DeVito.
I'm gonna burn it down,
Probably
dude.
not,
Might
but
need to
that's the
start
Burn it
best
all
choice.
down.
Pikachu did have a very deep, unsettling voice for what you're used to. So,
Yeah.
so
I just
don't
want
know.
Pikachu to come out and be like, I dropped my extra large condom,
My
Magnum Dong.
Oh my god.
So
Exactly
Detective
how I
Pikachu
want
fans,
Pikachu to
yeah,
come.
get excited. Maybe you can mod it somehow and just make it Danny DeVito's voice.
Probably.
Moving on to Vampire Survivors, the Steam hit.
What?
Man, I can't even think of how to describe Vampire Survivors. It's a shooter. It's like a survivor shooter. You just like you're running through these rooms, you're killing waves of monsters. You have to survive 30 minutes. It's great. I've played a ton of it. It's on Steam, but it's also coming to the Switch. So check out Vampire Survivors.
Wow.
You can
Interesting.
sink several hours into it just holding down one button. It's great. And then their big reveal was Super Mario Bros. Wonder. It's their
Yeah,
newest
that's what I saw.
side scroller Mario game, and it looks like it takes classic Mario and turns it on its head. There's all kinds of crazy. It's almost like if Mario meets multiverses, kind of. In
Mario Multiverse.
crazy
That shit
thing.
is so hot.
Isn't
now.
that kind of what Super Mario Odyssey is, though, when you think about it? Kind of a
Yeah,
multiverse.
Odyssey was more open world. This is a side scroller, so it's going back to classic like, but the way you interact with certain objects and then it changes the world and how everything works in the world, it looked pretty fun. Like I was like, nice. Like I will probably look into that. But yeah, those were my highlights from the direct.
Damn.
Let us know what you liked in the comments. But
Yeah, it's some
Nintendo
bangers.
fans, you're also eating good.
No, yeah. And that's not the only thing that's going on. So, recently, by the time airing of this video, Mortal Kombat is doing they did their stress test.
Mortal Kombat.
Right
And
now, they
hopefully
haven't done
me
their
and
stress
Alex got
test.
in.
Oh,
By
I
the
didn't
time
get
you
an
see this, the
email,
stress
so I'm a
test
little
will have
worried
been
about that.
performed.
Hey guys, me again. So as of the time that I'm editing this video, I'm proud to announce that I actually did get chosen for the Mortal Kombat 1 stress test. Unfortunately, Rhett did not get chosen, but I am here to say it is absolutely fantastic. One of the best Mortal Kombat games, and I cannot wait for it to open to the general public because, man, this thing is crazy. Back to the episode. Yeah, this episode is
Emails should
being
have gone
filmed.
out, so I
Yes.
don't know. Let us know if you are in the
Get
stress
excited,
test.
yeah. Make
If
sure
you
you
haven't
sign
watched,
up,
wanna look
see if
at
you get that chance to perform in the stress test, as well as potentially get a free copy of Mortal Kombat.
Look,
Well, I don't think you'll get a free copy of the game, but you get to play it early.
yeah, you get to play it early, which is awesome.
But
I
might,
will say,
I
I
feel
guess
like
you
there's
always
gonna be
could.
like a couple people get
Nah,
a
they don't
free
want people
copy of the
leaking.
game. Make
I know
them
it's
do
not
it.
fully ready yet.
it's insane to me how much they were able to change and still
mean,
keep it
I'm
relevant.
gonna be real, they had to, and like I kind of like how they're like, oh well, we're going back to the roots, we're doing one again, but it's definitely a direct continuation of the story because Liu Kang is now the god of fire and thunder, like the ending of the last Mortal Kombat.
Well, that's kind of what he was saying is like Chronica has been in charge of time throughout every single Mortal Kombat that's existed back until the first arcade game came out. And now, like, that has been a linear story they have been telling for almost like 30 years now.
Man.
And now
But
it's time
low-key,
to
it's
hard
still
reset it.
kind of linear, like in a way.
Well,
So
Like
it's
the
like,
only way this
Kang,
happens is
it's
if everything
Yeah.
else has happened before it.
like literally, yeah, like it's almost I feel like they want you to go into it with just acting as though you never played Mortal Kombat before. Like this
There's
is
a
how
lot
it's
of
supposed to
things
be
that
from
I've
now
noticed
on.
too, that like Liu Kang becoming what is he, the elder god of Earthrealm now?
He's the god of everything almost.
Yeah, so just him being in charge has changed a lot of things too. But most importantly, it's that my boy Smoke is back in action, which is the most important thing
Reptile
about
is
this
back?
game.
The
ever.
character roster has supposedly already leaked online. Whether Ed Boon did that on purpose or not, you know,
He probably did.
Well, either
You
way, it
never
was only
know.
the starting character roster. There's going to be
Well,
at
yeah, I don't know if
least
he's going to be a starting
3
character, but my boy Smoke is
combat
back,
packs.
man.
Well, yeah, I
The
imagine it's going
cameo
to
fighter
be
packs are going to be popping.
like how when we get if we get the stress test, we're more than likely only going to have access to like 4 or 5 characters. And after that, the other like 13 will drop with the first character pack DLC as well. And you'll have all the different cameo fighters you can pick too. So yeah, we do know that Smoke is making his long awaited, much fucking requested return back to the series. Reptile's coming back. Looks
Reptile's
like
a big one,
Ermac
too.
is coming
Yeah, I'm a
back
Smoke
too.
boy.
Everybody
I gotta
loves
smoke.
Ermac. But then they also did take some liberties. They're bringing back a lot of very lesser known characters like Lee May and Natara, who was in the movie. And of course, I almost like, I wish sometimes I had a pre-recording of myself that would play every time I predict something right. But they said we're bringing a character back from Mortal Kombat 4, and I said it was going to be Reiko, and it's Reiko. So in the movie, they kind of botched Reiko's character because in Mortal Kombat 4, he was almost like great value Shao Kahn. Like his whole thing is he wanted to be the one to kill Shao Kahn and rule the realms. And in his Mortal Kombat 4 ending, he actually did it, and he became the spiritual embodiment of Shao Kahn. So like in the movie, they just made him like Melina's side bitch or Shang Tsung's side bitch, which was super weird.
Nah, it's way more better. Honestly, I've got a lot of problems with the movie, but we've already talked about those.
Yeah, they did go ahead and break that ice for us, and they said no, Cole Young will not be in this game.
Good,
There
because
is no
it sucks to
reason
have
for
a
him to
character in
come
a fighting
in.
game whose superpower is having plot armor.
Yeah, they literally created him
Yeah.
solely for the movie, so that's where he's gonna stay. Which, fine, like, fine, that's cool. But like the biggest change to me that I'm still like Whoa, that's nuts. And I feel like they took it from all the fan theories for like the arcade games, but now it's legit. Scorpion and Sub-Zero are blood brothers. The Shirai Ryu does not exist in this timeline, and Scorpion fights for the Lin Kuei, which is a big like what the fuck moment, because they've never been on the same team as hard as Scorpion being like, all right, fuck the Shirai Ryu. But like now in this timeline, they don't exist. So I feel like there's going to be some crazy dynamic between them two in the story that we're not necessarily ready for. But the biggest son of a bitch in Mortal Kombat history is also coming back, which makes a lot of fans really happy. But Quan Chi makes his return back to Mortal Kombat, has not been in the past 2 games, and
I like Quan
now
Chi
back. Yeah, I mean, I like the way Quan Chi fights, but I hate fighting Quan Chi.
Well, yeah,
like
he's a good villain though. Like,
it's so annoying. And throws green skulls at your face. I hate that shit, man.
Yo, so I don't know if you guys saw that Ed Boon on Twitter earlier played a game. Did you guys see this? He did a truth or troll where he dropped 10 truths or trolls and had the community, guess yes or no. And he hasn't revealed, but I think we might as well just go through now and play it.
Word.
And these are all truth or trolls for the new MK1. So, let's see what's the first one. There will be a new color ninja introduced in MK1. And now with them getting rid of
interesting, because
I don't think they can.
Well, we've had
orange.
Trimmer's been a brand new ninja. Chameleon was a new ninja that they just kind of dropped. I feel
but it's
like
a brand new color ninja is the thing. There's already been yellow, red, blue, green.
There ain't been no white.
Orange.
Raiden
ain't a ninja.
White.
What, bruh? What?
Smoke is gray, which is a subcategory of white.
Yeah, there ain't been a white. I mean, kind of. Well, Trimmer was brownish, not really.
Yeah, Trimmer's
orange.
brown. There's
Chameleon was teal.
I guess Scorpion's orange because Cyrax is yellow.
Scorpion's yellow.
Then who's
Scorpion's
red?
always been yellow.
Oh, nobody.
Yeah, I know.
Ermac.
It depends on the game.
Yeah, I mean,
most people think
Scorpion's,
that's a troll.
Yeah, he's the yellow
50-50
ninja.
They could do Goku orange, like that could be a color. But like that's the other thing is like I feel like each color ninja is like associated with an element, and like they're really I mean, Rain is water, he's purple.
Purple Rain, baby.
Eyes. Bro, it would be cool if they brought Rain back. I ain't go front.
He was pretty good in 11.
Troll.
Shujinku will be one of the cameo fighters.
Troll.
Most people think it's the truth. So
what? No, man. Shujinko was literally like, I have everyone's power. Like Shang Tsung already does that, asshole. Oh my god.
Animalities are returning to MK1.
Ooh, I hope that's true. The animalities where they train.
Most people think it's a troll. Most people think it's a troll because that's too good to be true.
Is Nightwolf in this one?
But it's split.
No, but he helped bridge the animality shit. Like that was a lot on Nightwolf's part.
Lou Ferrigno will be making an appearance in MK1.
Yeah. I believe that full-heartedly.
Lou Ferrigno?
Yeah.
Yes.
Who would he play?
I don't know.
Most people think it's a troll, but
I mean, they're bringing in Jean-Claude Van Damme.
He was the inspiration for Mortal Kombat. That makes so much sense. But like, they bringing in the Hulk. Who the hell would the Hulk
the inspiration for Hulk?
Who the hell would he play? Like, I'm Shao Kahn. Like that.
Just play himself.
Yeah,
I'm Lou Ferrigno.
I mean, they're bringing in Omni-Man and
Fatality. What if he's an announcer?
I'm ready for the Omni-Man and Homelander fights. Like, let's bring that shit home, dude.
All right, Meat is one of the stronger cameo fighters.
Meat?
That's cap. That Meat is a meme character.
I don't know who Meat is. That's about a 50-50 split.
He was in like 2 games.
People think it's a troll.
Yeah, it's gotta be a troll.
Was he the ugly zombie looking dude with the fucking club for an arm?
No, that's Drummond. Meat was literally just made of meat. Like he was a skinless body that fought. and it was
Bro.
whack.
You think they're gonna
Cameo
do
fighters will have
Borracho?
brutalities, bro. I hope Borracho.
Do what?
Cameo fighters will have brutalities, which
I-
most people
I
say
think I
yeah.
feel like yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
they showed
brutalities are like
Jax do a fatality as a cameo, so
Yeah, so
probably.
why not? MK1 story mode will have a post-credit scene. Yes.
Yeah, they all do.
Yeah.
Most people say true.
no, yeah, that's definitely truth.
He's got to put some easy ones in here, man, to throw us off. Puzzle combat will be returning in MK1. I do not know what puzzle combat is. Most people are saying
That was
it's
a
troll
mini
and probably
game.
hoping it's a troll.
I don't know. I feel like they're gonna try. I feel like that's really like maybe
There will be some mini
a
games
solid
for
maybe.
sure.
It's like
There are
them-
no four-legged fighters.
Yeah, that's true. They would not bring.
Most people
Everybody's
think
thinking.
that's a troll.
Everybody's thinking Mataro. Mataro is not going to be in this fucking game.
Most people think it's a troll though, that they will bring a four-legged fighter.
Yeah, that's probably a troll.
Yeah, I think it's a troll.
No. I mean, he's saying there are no four-legged fighters, and so most people saying this is a troll means that most people think they will bring one.
The only one I
Oh.
could think of is Mataro.
He might be
Yeah,
telling
I
the
don't even
truth.
know that. MK1 will feature the return of Test Your Sight.
Probably.
I don't remember that. That's what most people think.
It was like a test. It was a thing for you to do in between matches and shit. So I don't see why not.
Right. Yeah, I just remembered that. I thought that'd be fun.
Yeah, like some of that stuff.
there
I
you
feel
go.
like
There's
it's
some
just kind of
things
like
to
side
speculate.
content. Anyway.
Yeah, that does that for that. So I thought that would be fun.
We don't really need a transition because
know.
it's what everyone's been waiting for years and years and years, like me, and no one can tell me otherwise. And that's that Final Fantasy 16 comes out for us in like
Less
4
than 4
hours.
hours. Yep. It is officially 3 hours and 44 minutes away.
I've been so excited
3
for
hours,
this game since
43,
I was a
12,
wee lad.
43,
All right.
11,
Oh, wee
42,
lad,
30.
before I even knew its
Go.
conception. All right, I've been ready for this game ever since Final
Yeah.
Fantasy 10. Okay, I've been waiting for Final Fantasy to get back to its medieval roots, and I feel like we're really gonna get that with this game, and I'm very excited to play it.
Like I last night went to go download it, and like I feel like I clicked on the screen to download and I just read that caption of the crystal has defined our fate for too long, and I got chills. I was like, the countdown begins, boys.
No, yeah. Now,
Oh my
minor
God.
spoilers. All three of us have played the demo. Which was fantastic. It was probably the best demo I've ever played.
I didn't know demos could be so hype, and I started downloading it.
Demos are not supposed to be that hype, but Square
Yeah.
Enix was like,
Well, now they
hold my
have to
beer.
be.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I
Now
literally
they gotta
played
be.
that demo, and I was like, I would have rather spent $60 on this demo than on Gollum. Yes, I bought Gollum.
Yeah.
Yes, I went through
Everyone
every
point and
emotion while
laugh.
playing it.
Yeah. He bought Gollum.
We're not going
Like
to
an
talk about
idiot.
Gollum.
I knew it.
But
I tried
yeah.
to tell you.
But
All
this
right,
is going to be
everyone,
my
just put a
very
frowny
first.
face on the screen for Rhett right now.
Boom, boom, boom.
In a moment of silence.
Go in the comments. Tell me if you also wasted your money on Gollum.
They did.
Let me know what you thought. But this
They
is going to be
didn't.
my very first Final Fantasy game. I've never played a Final Fantasy game to completion.
Yeah.
I did start the 7 remake. I started 15 like 5 times, and I never got into it. But I played this demo, and it was hype.
No, yeah. What a Final Fantasy to just lock into, and I'm kind of jealous for some people's first time Final Fantasies, but I feel like this also for longtime fans is like this is gonna put the franchise on a whole new level. Like the maturity of it, the realistic nature of it. Now, of course, it's Final Fantasy and there's a lot of magic and crazy things inside of it, but like
Monsters.
if those monsters were real, this is probably how it would be living with them. You know, very kind of like that Western kind of, you know, like Game of Thronesy kind of.
Yeah.
Which it does
story
take influence
arcing.
from. They confirmed watch Game of Thrones to get this like character arcs and story arcs for this like medieval
No, yeah.
espionage
I
level
feel like
shit.
every Final Fantasy has like its cringy moments. Which of course not every, but some people really enjoy those about the games. They like those cringy moments. Some people, you know, we appreciate other things about the story, but like I feel like this is going to be one of the first Final Fantasies where like there is going to be no cringy moments because it's just going to be very a lot. There's going to be a lot. I don't really know how else to put it. Like, I mean, it is going to be very serious. There is probably going to be comedy. You're going to feel sad at some points, angry at others, happy at sometimes. Like, you're just going to get the full range. And I feel like the amount of effort that they put into world building, like, you're just, it's going to get game of the year. I think it's going to get game. Like, fuck Tears of the Kingdom. It's going to get game of the year.
No, bro, no, don't say that, bro. No.
Boo.
Bro, I'll stand by it. I feel like Final
We
Fantasy
just
16
hyped up the
is going to
Nintendo
carry me to
Direct.
victory on its wings. All right.
The thing is yeah, I am a little hesitant now because I mean Tears of the Kingdom dropped and like that's just a shoe-in for winning all the awards. But then Final Fantasy 16 demo dropped. And
Yeah.
everyone and they really have done well hyping this game. They've put it
No,
at the
yeah.
forefront
Well,
of people's head of like people's timelines. Everyone's seeing it. People like me who have never played Final Fantasy are hype.
No,
You
yeah.
know?
Well, see, like, so I know this is probably maybe a month and a half ago. There was an article because I follow Final Fantasy and stuff, about how the developers of Final Fantasy 16 were actually incredibly nervous because their pre-orders weren't that high. Now, granted, they are still probably within like the hundreds of thousands, but like they weren't that high. They weren't what they expected them to be compared to like what they've had in the past. And I mean, this is a culture that I feel like we're finally kind of starting to get away from pre-ordering because of all the horrible games that come out release after release. But Square Enix went gold on it, and we're like, okay, cool, all right. And it's when the demo dropped. Like the demo was so high quality, it went viral and just exploded, and people are seeing it and they're like, oh my god, this looks amazing. And I feel like this is going to be that Final Fantasy that was like Skyrim for the Elder Scrolls series. Like Skyrim came out and Elder Scrolls blew the fuck up, and I feel like Final Fantasy 16 is going to come out and the whole Final Fantasy series is going to blow the fuck up, and it's already blown up. Like it's got
this isn't the first time. It doesn't necessarily need this, but it's gonna happen.
It's gonna re-blow up again. Go supernova, if you will. If that's a Sephiroth reference.
And yeah, I didn't even get into this series until playing 15. And then I played a little bit of 7. I've always been a Kingdom Hearts fan, so I feel like there was always a part of Final Fantasy somewhere in my heart. And now it's just, now that I'm a fan, I'm just I'm like shaking with excitement to play
their
this
writing
game.
teams, they're just the amount that they'll put into their resources. Because some other games that they made, like they did the Life is Strange series.
Yeah.
And
10 out of 10.
That was a very good game in terms of writing. And it just shows that like they're willing to go the extra mile for their games. The voice acting in the trailers, just the sound design, everything like that.
To me,
fantastic. Did a fantastic job. Something that got me super hyped is I don't know his name, so I'm not gonna say it, but you can put him on screen, Mr. Editor, and it's the lead combat designer on the game who also designed the combat for game systems like Devil May Cry 5. And
yeah, did you see that? He said this is his masterpiece.
Yeah, he said that this is his magnum opus. Like that's how he views this game. Like this is
imagine saying that shit about your ability to like program combat in a game. Like this is my magnum opus.
Yeah, like he literally said this is the greatest achievement of his career, and he doesn't know if he'll ever be able to top it. Like this might be
after this, I quit.
Don't even hire me after this. I ain't giving it to you again.
The biggest
someone who's like worked on games that are so successful with such fun game mechanics. it's like that's a lot to hear from him.
Yeah,
Like
that's
Devil May
bonkers.
Cry is literally a series where people will like rave about the combo system and the mechanics and everything and just replay that game over and over and over again. It's like Doom in that way. Like people speed run this game, they'll so much,
Not
but
this
like
one.
Well,
I'm ready. I
Ain't
get
speed
uh,
running 16.
Speaking of time, so it is confirmed. It came out. It's about a 30 to 40 hour story, right? And then a 70 hour for a completion,
which will realistically take me
right? So I was
like
wondering
300 hours.
I know for a fact Alex will at least hit 200 just because Alex's ability to replay a game just over and over
Nah,
is
I'm gonna tell you
incredible.
straight up, Alex is probably gonna beat this game at level 1 because he's gonna do something and not realize. Oh, I was supposed to
Look,
spend ability points.
look,
What?
bro.
Wait, I have a different sword.
That has to be that has to be my best moment though, dude, because I literally started Kingdom Hearts 3 and I accidentally on like chapter 2 activated the 0 XP thing so you don't get any experience for the rest of the game, and I made it to the final level before I was like, or the final like setting before I was
Right.
like,
Yeah.
this
I
game
remember
is
you, like, coming
stupid,
up
it's
to
too
me
hard.
and being like, "This is too hard. I can't do it." And I was like, "What do you got to
What do you
quit?" And you're
mean?
like, "I don't know stuff." And I was like, "Well, let me see." And then I saw that you had literally
0
not gotten any.
XP.
You were still on like the basic combo.
Yeah.
You
Like
had nothing
nothing,
special.
bro.
I'm like, dude, you've played Kingdom Hearts before. You should know.
I
You've been like,
fumbled
where are all
that
my
bag.
abilities?
I will say that has made me so extremely cautious of abilities in any game moving forward. I'm like, let me read this real
Right,
quick.
you guys too now, man. They get intricate.
No, yeah, honestly,
Even
this
God
might
of
be the
War, I
first
was like,
game in a
Oh,
long
God.
time where I like read the lore as I go.
I always
Yeah,
try and
this
do
is going to
that.
be
But
super educational for me in
it's
this
Yeah.
world.
I think the
I
last
meant
game
to
I did
play the
that with
demo
was
again.
Control.
Oh, nice. Yeah, true. Control
No,
was
yeah, and then
but
before that,
even
I feel like it
only
was like
played
Mass
once.
Effect.
Yeah,
like-
you're the resident Mass Effect fan. I just never really
It's
played it
so
like
big.
that.
Fantastic game series.
But yeah, so get excited for Final Fantasy 16 with us. Let us
T
know in the comments.
minus 3.5
3 hours.
hours.
Bro, it's gonna be the greatest thing ever. If you've never played a Final Fantasy before, well, then I probably hate you.
Look, Mom,
But you should give
That's
this
not
one a
true. He
try.
doesn't mean that.
if you're listening to this, Mom, I'm sorry, but this has to be said. I bought $70 Dream recording TV lights for Final Fantasy 16. Like, I am
Solid
amped.
move.
Alex's
Solid
room
I
is
am
about to be
amped.
a movie theater. It's gonna be hype in
Yeah,
there.
I thought about the whole fight already between Ifrit and the Phoenix, and I was like, that with those
Ifrit.
lights, my room is slinging flames and shit.
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
like trying to focus on the screen, like, oh my god,
it's such a feast for the eyes. And like they're gonna get that day one patch too. And I know some people are
Yeah.
upset about a day one patch being a thing, but like
Nah, it's fine.
fucking
I
calm
like
down.
it. It's just them making sure
No,
that
I
the
mean,
game
it's good
doesn't
that they
screw
have a
you
day
over.
They
one
said
patch at
they said
least.
that the game won't even actually require that update to play. It's like super small. It's like 32 MB
Yeah,
or something like that.
that's
Like
like good
100.
news to me because
Like,
that's
yeah, and
just
it's like that's all we really need to do to adjust the game to how we want it. And it's like that's
Yeah.
super good news. Like, it's not like it's gonna be like a freaking like 4 GB update to a brand new game. It's like it's a couple
Yeah.
megabytes, and it's just like it's gonna
It'll
try and
probably happen immediately. It'll probably
yeah,
like-
basically it's trying to address some of the issues that people had with the demo, which was like sometimes there was some frame rate drops, so they're trying to optimize that.
Yeah.
You know,
They said eventually there might be a system to control motion blur a little better. I don't see that
that's
coming
also
in
what that
this.
update is supposed to help with. I guess the blur was
The
too
motion
much
blur,
for the
yeah.
development team once the demo came out. So the day one patch is supposed to adjust the levels of how blurry it is when you
Oh,
move the
wow.
camera.
Yeah, to me, that's just like throwing a safety net on your product and being like,
No,
see,
yeah.
yeah,
They said
we're
for
good
people
people.
that don't have internet access that are getting the disc version of the game, You don't actually need it to play the game. It's just a
Nice.
little chef's kiss,
Yeah.
as it
That's
were.
what's up. Yeah, I mean, I can honestly say with full force and both nuts on the table that Square Enix is hands down like my favorite game company. And I'm so glad to see that they're just absolutely killing it still.
No, yeah.
That
Don't get
would
me
be a
wrong.
good
I love
topic.
seeing stuff from some other companies. Like, of course, I love to see Insomniac get into the mix.
They're getting
know,
there.
I like
They've been
seeing
dropping
BioWare.
bangers.
I like seeing BioWare attempt stuff still. They're really one of the few companies that have
That is
survived with
true.
EA.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Like, I don't really play, like I said, Mass Effect, but like I do enjoy BioWare games. They're pretty fun.
Right. And I mean they've had some hard hits in the last, like some struggles in the past couple years. Of course, they were
Yeah.
responsible for Anthem, and that was a massive shit pile.
Oh man, that's on the biggest
You know.
disappointments
And
in
then they
gaming
did Mass Effect
history.
Andromeda, which wasn't a horrible mechanically. It was really fun, but the story was kind of meh. And those two games back to back, that's really harsh. So I know that they're
Yeah.
working on more stuff, but we're not talking about BioWare. We're talking about Final
But
Fantasy.
Final Fantasy,
We'll get to you.
get
BioWare.
hype.
And
yeah.
Yeah.
honestly, like I'm extremely ready to play it. I'm hungry. I'm gonna eat dinner.
Same.
Comes out, and I'm probably I've work tomorrow. Who knows? Who knows?
I'm gonna be
Yeah.
up all night.
I'm
I ain't got
I'm
work tomorrow, bro.
I don't know. I'm in this weird spot where I'm like, well, I have been staying up late and still getting up and going to work. So maybe, but then I know me and I'm like, well, you probably shouldn't. Like, just stay away from it until tomorrow.
Right, because you can.
You might as
tomorrow
well
you can
just get on
go
it
for it.
and play the prequel. You might as well just play the demo
Well,
bit again.
you
Just
know,
get it out of the way, dude. You'll
it brings it brings me back to those nights where the three of us would start our GTA session at 10 o'clock and we would play until 7 in the morning, and then an hour later I'd be clocked in at work on no sleep. So
Bro, yeah, I was
I
thinking
mean,
about
I've
this too.
been
Like, how did
there
we used to start our sessions at like midnight.
because I would get off of work from closing and everyone would be like, okay, let's do this, and
Let's
we'd be
do
up
it.
for 9 hours.
Yeah,
Good times.
those were the
But,
days.
guys, thanks
They
for joining us
were.
back. Whackcast, we're back. We're gonna try and be releasing regularly again.
Right.
Yeah, Justin is moving locations, so there may
Yeah.
be a slight delay on the
Boxes
release,
everywhere.
but we are back and we mean
Yeah.
it this time.
So let us
So-
know in the comments what you are hyped about. We covered quite a bit like we do,
Yeah,
but we're gonna bring it back with some more whack shows, some more binges,
yeah.
and just some good old casts. And we're excited to be here with you guys. So
I'll go ahead and tease it right before we end this. Before we took our hiatus, we did a whack show, which was probably one of my favorite ones. So that will still be releasing sometime soon because I feel like it deserves to see the
excited.
light. So
Was that one I hosted?
yeah, that was the last one we
the
did.
show off one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Finally find out who won.
Yeah. And that's
Who's
it,
gonna host the
everyone.
next one? But yeah.
We
See you
will
guys
see you
next
guys next
time.
week.